everybody? It's Omar. It's Friday, August 11th, 9 p.m. And I want to make a video building my watch list for Monday and rant for a few minutes, talk about several things to help you all. So, if you've been following my journey, I'm on Twitter, so if you come, make sure you follow me here. Watchotrade is my handle. I have a YouTube page. Please subscribe, like, leave comments. If you just go here and you find me here, watchotrade. I have an actual YouTube page. I never really put a lot of effort into organizing this. I don't really know how to do it. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not the most technically proficient person, but what I want to do is try to figure out a way to organize this in such a way so that you can follow. My advice to you guys is, people say I need to put more videos, and you're right. I'll get around to that. I just have a lot going on, but watch all my videos. So you may say, well, Omar, why should I watch a video building your watch list for months earlier? Because when you watch my videos, I always go through entry and exit strategy. So it's not just I just say here's a stock and I talk about if I was to trade this stock, this is where I thought I might have gotten in, this is why I would have gotten out, and I kind of walk through the details of why. So you can learn a lot from watching these videos. You got tons and tons and tons of content. I don't know how many videos, maybe 30-40 videos here, recap. So I think what I'm gonna do moving forward is, on Fridays I'll make a video building my watch list for Monday in real time, and then on during the week, what I'll do is I'll build my watch list in advance and then make a quick 10-minute video, limited to 10 minutes, and just kind of review the stocks on why they're on my watch list. All right. Another thing is I officially I'm just gonna stick with Thinkorswim. So if you've been watching me for the past year, I've had multiple brokerages. I had an IRA account with Thinkorswim, so that was only, and that's still doing, that's only for longing. And then I had an E-Trade account, that's where I would go to the shorting. And then I had a Centerpoint account for a bit, and I closed that account only because I have a full-time job, and I make trades from work when I can. So, and I can't access it. Centerpoint runs on a DAS platform. I just can't access it from work. But I was having the same issue with Thinkorswim, but I don't have that issue anymore. So I'm just going, with Thinkorswim. One of the concerns I had was, would I be able to short lower price stocks with Thinkorswim? And you know what? They're not that bad. I mean, they're not amazing, but they're not bad. I mean, I always find plays. And they're merging with Scottrade, so when that takes place, they'll have even better locates. So it's good. It does its job. They have some stringent parameters around shorting. So if you short stocks between $5 and $5.01 and 16.67, you need to have $5 for every share you short. So for example, if you have a $10,000 account, you would do 10,000 divided by 5. And the most you can short on a $10,000 account is 2,000 shares, which is 2,000 shares is fine, man. 2,000 shares can give you some nice gains. It's actually safer, to trade. I think up to 5,000 shares on a position is pretty good. When you go above that, you gotta be real cautious because when stocks go against you, you can lose a lot of money. So so just keep that in mind. But I like them. The executions obviously aren't as fast as like a Centerpoint, which are lightning fast, but it works well for me. So I like them. All right. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is, guys, these gurus that you're following, they try to solicit you to join their services. Fuck that. Save your money. If you watch my videos, especially my momentum, so I have a video here, the golden one, the one that you should always watch first is there's 2 or 3. This one, momentum trading for beginners, right? Watch that one first, and then the Thinkorswim setup for momentum trading. This one's first, this one's second, this one third. Watch those 3, and I mean that'll set you up for what you're gonna do. everything that I teach you in here is what you learn if you were to subscribe to Tim Sykes or watch Tim Grittani or any of these guys. Guys, save your money, man. They making money just, bullshitting you guys. Like, just out of curiosity, I joined Cameron Foose's chat room for like 3 months. It's terrible. I like his videos, his vlogs, but as a teacher, he doesn't teach. You go in there, he gets online, he does maybe 30 minutes of trading, maybe if that. He tells you he's in, he's out. He doesn't even really show you his P&L. He doesn't really teach. He doesn't do recap videos. He barely answers questions, and then he's off running around with his girlfriend. He's not really invested in his business. That's just my opinion. I think he needs to take it more seriously because there's a lot of competition here. If I was you guys, like if I was gonna pay for this, go with Mark Trades. It's $60 a month, gives you a shitload of content, and he's on all day with you. But honestly, you don't need it, man. You don't need to. You don't need to be part of a chat room to learn this. I learned this just by watching videos. So with that said, I'm gonna build my watch list for Monday. And I'll talk about entry and exits and all that kind of shit. So, I go right click here, go to create watch list. I'm gonna put Monday's date, which is 8/14/17. I'm gonna hit save, and I do my little scan. So this is my scan. Oh, I'm sorry, let me pull it up. I'm gonna do my nightly scan right here. I lowered it. I was looking for stocks between 20 cents and $90. I lowered it back down to $40. Only because those higher price stocks, which though they're great, the bid and the ask, the spreads are so wide apart. I'm not comfortable trading those, so I just stay away from them. But you make your criteria whatever you want. You don't have to mirror mine. So I look for stocks between 20 cents and $40 now, and I'll change it from time to time. I'm real fluid when it comes to this stuff, and I get 67 stocks. All right, so. I go to charts, and we'll start here. This is the actual scan here, and we'll start from the cheapest price to the higher price. Now, Bitcoin has been running crazy. The reason, this is a Bitcoin stock, so if you go here, you can tell Bitcoin is running again, and I'll tell you why Bitcoin is running, because TRTC, not TRTC, where is it? Where's the highest percentage? Let me change it. BITCF. This stock has gone ham. I mean, this thing was trading 4 days ago in the 40-cent range. 5 cents ago, this is 30-cent range, and it's up to 173. I mean, this is the kind of stock that will make you a millionaire if you had enough shares in it. But who the fuck thought this would get at that far? I thought at the most it was gonna get up to that 84-cent range, and this is the yearly chart I got here now, and it would collapse. Nope, it kept squeezing and running. So it's just been running. Now, Thinkorswim, I don't think has shares to short, but my expectation is come Monday, this is going to pull back hard. That's my guess. Who knows? I mean, on the yearly RSI, it's at 90, so this is due for a huge wash. So I think Interactive Brokers has shares to short. So if you can get them, then load up and get ready to short this bitch on the first red day, because this shit is gonna make you a shitload of money, because it's gonna pull back hard. There's no reason why the stock should be this high. It's dog shit, but we'll watch it. I'm gonna put it on play because maybe it keeps running. I mean, who really knows, right? But I think Monday, this is where it pulls back finally. But I'll be watching it. Now, if I was watching this stock, honestly, it's so choppy that it's hard to get a clear entry on this. So for me, the clear entry, right, because I promised you I would tell you, would have been a higher day. So right at this point, this is higher day, that 117. So you remember, you always want to put a trend line where your higher day is. So this is the range it's in, right? It gaps up, it comes down, it gaps up, it comes down. You see it's going up and down, and it's starting to trade in this range right here. So what I would have been doing is looking to see, does it break the higher day with some volume? And if it does, I would have taken an opportunity to trade that, risking. So if this is high day and that's my entry, I would have said like maybe VWAP or the previous support level, which is right here. So if I would have got in here at 117, I would have 110 right here, because this is a previous support level right here. This is like the clear support level right here, would have been my out. So if it breaks below this, I'm out. This is, nobody expected this to run like it did. And it just kind of, you know, you see once it broke, it pulled back a little bit, but it formed a higher low here. So this could have been another entry had you watched it here. Say, okay, look, it's forming a higher low. This is the previous support level. I'm gonna get in here risking 10. So you could have got in here at 114 risking 109. And then, you know, it clearly just rips. You know, it just freaking rips all day. You know, and then it runs sideways. So when you get the sideways consolidation, it's called a flat top breakout. Sometimes it either runs sideways and it collapses, or it pushes. So let's assume you're watching it run sideways. What you do is you say, okay, I'm gonna keep seeing how this is gonna move. If this breaks up, I'll take a long on it, risking here. So this would have been, since it's running sideways and this is the support 125, I would have got in once it broke above the high there at this point, risking that 5 cents. So this would have been my entry, this would have been my exit. And you know, this thing just keeps running all day. You see it just completely rise. This is the 9 EMA I have here, and it just rolled all the way up. And then, you know, every stock has a wash. At some point it's gonna wash, and you know, you see it tops out here and it just starts going. So right in this candle, when it kind of starts going down, and right here where it forms the lower high, I would have gotten here short, risking 173. That would have been a great entry to short this. Now, if TD Ameritrade had shares to short, I've been looking for this. I don't know if it does. It doesn't come up here. What I learned from them is just because a stock doesn't list doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't have shares to short. You can take a chance, and if it doesn't, they don't have shares, it'll just reject you. So that would have been my entry. So here, right, high day, you put your trend line here, okay? And then you see it starting to reverse. You see all the sellers coming in, right? So you see all the selling pressure, right? You see it's just nothing but red. So once on that first candle, it starts breaking down and it gaps up right here. Right here would have been my entry short, risking this. All right, this is the shit that nobody teaches you. I swear to God, when I was in Cameron Foods, he doesn't talk about any of this shit. Tim Sykes doesn't talk about any of this shit. Nobody does. All right. So that would have been my entry. That would have been my exit. That's what trading is all about, risk management. It's about managing what you lose, not really what you win, as weird as that sounds. All right? And, you know, you could have just watched this. And look, it goes right down to VWAP. VWAP for me is always like my sort of like make or break. Like, because sometimes you get these, you see how it bounces off VWAP? And it's one of my strategies in this little manual I have. Let me know if you want the manual. I can send it to you. I created a manual with all the... Let me see if I can find it. I gotta minimize all this for a second. Let's see. I have I should have it here somewhere. Sorry about that, guys. And I know this is a long video. I'm ranting a lot. Trading info. I think this is. Yeah, this is it right here. I think it is, and I made it a PDF. So, you know, it's an easy file to send you guys. But let me open this up. And I'm sorry, guys. It's taking long. All right, yeah. So these are all the patterns I trade: dip buys, you know, bull flag patterns, parabolic breakout spikes, and parabolic spikes, and then where is it? I have oh, here it is. Midday VWAP bounce. So when a stock bounces off VWAP and then continues, that's what this did. So it pulled back, bounces off VWAP, and then trends up, you know? So that's another entry. I like those VWAP bounces. So any of you guys want this manual, let me know and I'll send it to you. I just talk about all these patterns, you know? And you can see them all here. These are all my shorting patterns. So I got long patterns and short patterns that I trade. And that's it. All you need to do is look at these patterns, late day fade. That's what CYR did today. You know, and I can share them with you if you want. So just let me know. All right, so getting back to the video. So that's going to be on my watch list. All right, so hopefully those entries and exits make sense to you. Next up is dries. Yeah, yo, people got crushed today on dries. Dries is dog shit. Now, it's funny. Pre-market, I was watching this. You see this here? It's funny because I saw it pre-market where it came down, and I saw that it bounced here, and I saw it like right around here. So I saw it was like trading in this channel, and you see how it's getting later, like in the morning before the market opens, and you know it's trading in this channel. It keeps bouncing up and down, and what I noticed was, let me zoom out a little bit, right here, you see how it keeps tapping this resistance point right here. I had 2,000 shares loaded, and I was gonna buy it, risking it, but it's so volatile and there's so much shit with it that I didn't. And man, and I had 2,000 shares. I would have got in. Look at this, man. I would have banked. I would have made almost $2 grand in a matter of 10 minutes. I didn't pull the trigger, man. I was loaded, ready to trade it pre-market, and I just didn't pull the trigger. And it would have been a good entry. You see how I track my resistance lines, entry, highs, and lows? It's important to know entries and exits. But that's why all this shit is here, because I was watching it this morning. Now, what I would be doing, and look, I'm gonna put on the watch list, because this is a stock that if you can find shares to short and they're not gonna charge you too much, this is gonna go down. I think this is it for dries. I think this is finally gonna go down and become an official penny stock, sub-dollar stock, and stay down there. We'll see. But I'm putting it on there just for that reason. Just because, you know, if you can find shares to short, I'm not going to be able to short it. It's a hard to borrow. And with Thinkorswim, you need $100,000 in your account in order to short it. And I just fully funded my account. So I'll have like, I don't know, like 30 grand, I think, in my account now. So yeah, I'm not putting 100,000 in for this. It's, you know, for Thinkorswim. I'm not gonna do that. I'll build up to it though eventually, for sure. Hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have 100 grand in the account by trading, maybe more. Hopefully a lot more, but we'll see. Cause I trade from work. That's why. All right. So next up, BTCS. This is another. So you see, it's another one of those Bitcoin stops. So let me explain how all this works. BITCF was the primary stock, right? And all the stocks that are within the same sector. So when you have like a main stock in a sector, all the stocks in that sector move to coincide with that main stock. Those are called sympathy plays. So BTCS is a sympathy play of BITCF. All right. So that's a sympathy play. That's why that moved. So for example, dries moved right in the morning pre-market, and tops and ships. Let me see if tops is here, but I'll just type it in. Tops is a stock in the same sector, and look what happened. Pre-market, it also moved, because dries is the stock that moves all the other stocks within the shipping, because these are all shipping stocks. So this is a sympathy play based on dry. So sometimes you don't look at the main stock that's moving, look at the other stocks that are within the same sector, and they move in unison. All right, so that's something to think about. So I'm putting, getting back to this, let me see. Oops, sorry. So we on dries, BTCS, that's gonna be on my watch list. So now what I'm gonna be doing is looking to see. So if Monday BITCF doesn't pull back, if it continues to go crazy, then I'm probably not going to even look at BITCF. I'm probably going to look at BTCS for an opportunity to trade. And I would size in heavy, like a stock like this Monday, I'll take 100,000 shares probably, and I'll look for like 10-cent move, hopefully, you know. If you look at the yearly, you want to see where support and resistance is. So it's at its yearly high. So if I was to trade this, right, it already broke the yearly high. So if I was to trade this, I'm in and out fast. I would be pretty scared to just stay and hold. If I see a lot of volume coming in, the volume keeps pushing it up, I'll ride the wave. But as I'm going up in price, I'm probably taking profit. I'm paying myself to secure my profit. Because what if it tanks? It could just crash all of a sudden. You have to be careful with these stocks. All right. Next up, FRTA. Yeah, this is a stock that went from 319 to 466. Nice move. And look at this. It had this crazy crash pre-market. So what I would be looking to see is if it breaks. If you look here, 471 seems to be its resistance point, right? So what I would do is you put that trend line there, so oops, right here, right? And that's the trend line. Now, if it breaks above it, there's really nothing stopping this from getting back up. So I'm gonna put it on the watch list, looking to see if it breaks that. Otherwise, it might just pull back and it'd be a good short. Now, I don't know. Hopefully, Thinkorswim have shares to short. I'm not sure, but I'll be watching it for that. So that's what I'm going to be looking to see. All right. Now, if I was trading this, you see it, and when the market opened, it did what's called a green to red move. This is the previous day's close price. It broke below it, found its support level, and this is a what you call a dip buy. When a stock kind of sells off in the market open, finds its support level, and then what you do is you put a trend line at the support level. You see the stock spike, and when it pulls back right here, you see this is the new support level. You get in here risking this, and you buy it on the way up. I have it. It's one of my patterns. Here, dip buy. Where is it? Dip buy. Yeah. So see. So this is one, like, this is a morning panic, you know, where it changes, and then this is a late day fade where it finds a support and then it bounces. All right. So you know you can make those trades of that. So that's gonna be on my watch list. So another thing is a green, red to green move. Once it breaks above the previous day's close price, you can take an entry risking the previous day's close. But for here, look, it faked out. It got up, broke below it, and then continued up. So you gotta be careful. You know, you gotta watch out. But this thing then went on a tear. Now this is so choppy that it's very hard to understand like when to get out. You just gotta look at the volume, look at level 2, see how it's continuing to go, and take profit along the way, guys. Don't get greedy because you never know what's gonna happen. But look what happens here. I'll show you a good short entry. If I was watching this and I was looking for my entry, I would have seen this starting to pull back, and you know it pulls back right here. You see how it forms this lower high right here? So it starts selling, bounces here, and it forms this green candle. You see, so it's losing pressure, right? It's weakening. So if this is the high at this point of day, all right, right here, when I saw this bounce, this would have been my entry risking the high of day, and I would have shorted right here. That's what I like to do. That's really my style. That's more my style. It's a lot cleaner entry, and I would have been looking for it to bounce. Now, I would have been looking for it to get all the way back to VWAP, but it didn't. It found its support level here and started gapping up. And right in here, I probably would have covered, you know, seeing that, oh shit, it's not, it's, you know, it's forming strength. So that would have been an entry for me. All right. So let's keep moving. CHMA, no, CYR. Now this is the stock I traded today, and I wound up doing very well on it, but initially I lost some money. So this is what happened. I found this stock on my watch list, not on my watch list. I'm sorry. I should have shorted AKS, and we'll talk about that in a second. I'm an idiot, but we'll come back to that. So I saw this pop up on my scanner, and I love these stocks. So these are the stocks I love to short because, you know, these are stock. You see how it's at 607 in a matter of minutes. It's just gapping up, right? So 650 is a psychological. It's a whole number. Whole numbers are psychological resistance barriers. They tend to be resistance points for people, psychological resistance points. So when I saw the stock gap up and touch 650, and I saw this candle, this is that indecision candle. Usually when you get this, you're usually gonna get a reversal. So I thought, oh shit, this is great. This stock is gonna pull back maybe to VWAP. So I tried to take a short right in here at I think it was what I got in like 649, risking, you know, the high, which was 654. And you know, it comes in, it starts washing, and I'm like, great. So this is great. I'm up, and it bounces, and then it starts gapping up. And for a second, it stood at 654, but I stood in because I'm like, I see this candle. It's like an indecision candle. And usually when you get this, you get like a reversal, but fucking stock just went sideways on me, and then it popped. So I covered right in here when it like broke above me, and I took like an $80 loss because it was only like 1,000 shares I took on it. And then, so I'm like, fuck, this thing's got to pull back, right? So it starts ripping again. And look at this shit. Nobody saw this coming. There was no news on this. If you go look at the news, there was no news on this. There was no reason why this fucking stock was running. So, you know, I'm like, this is bullshit. This is some manipulation. It's going to wash. Sure enough, it gets right in here. So 690, I'm thinking, okay, this is where it's going to fucking pull back. And, you know, so right in here, I shorted again, 689. Starts pulling back. I'm like, great. And look, it finds its fucking support level here. And boom, it breaks out higher day again. And you see all the volume coming in. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, so I'm gonna hold till 7. If it gets to 7, I'm out. And sure enough, at 7, it starts sideways, and right here at 7, I'm like, maybe it's gonna fade. Maybe it's gonna fade. Nope, it goes out. So I just, once I saw that the volume was about to come in right in here, I just covered, and I took a loss. And then right in here, I bought the stock, and I went long here. I bought like 3,000 shares, and I was, it was a little risky because I said, maybe what if it like reverses, but it had so much volume and not a lot of people were selling that I thought, and I just rode this shit up. I got out, I rode this up all the way to about, I think it was like around 750. Right in here, I sold. So I made up for all my losses, and I made, I think it was, what did I make? I made about, after recovering my losses and everything, I think I made like about $800. And I could have kept going, but I had to, just with work, I can't multitask, But look what happens. I knew at some point the stock was gonna fucking fade. Now, if you look at the yearly, this is the yearly here. Look at it. This is what I thought was gonna happen. Once I saw it break 7, so 7, and this is the reason why I got out, because 758 is actually 756 is next resistance point. So I thought, oh, surely this is not gonna break this. This is gonna hit this, and then everybody's gonna take their profit. Nope, that shit broke right through it. Once it broke through it, I was like, oh man, it's gonna fill the gap, and this shit's gonna go all the way like to $8-9. But sure enough, and look, this is a pattern in my little manual that I put together. It had the late day, what I call a late day fade. When a stock gaps up and just grinds all day, late day fades. So you see how this stock, this is ATI. And you see how it was running all day, went from 15 all the way to 16.15, and look, right at that end of the day, look, same pattern. I just didn't have the time to watch it, but you knew somebody was going to take profit at some point. So, and then this thing just washed all the way right to about VWAP, okay? And that's what I was expecting early. I even called it on Twitter, So, this was when I got in, thinking that it was going to bounce to VWAP. I missed it. Now, where I fucked up, and I want to punch myself in the face, was look what I said earlier in the day. AK has finally broke below the key support level of 530. Question is, will it tank market open for a great shorting opportunity? Now, I'll keep building my watch list, and this is absolutely going to be on watch list. And this is going to be my #1 play to watch on Monday, looking for a potential short at the market open. I think that, because this is my guess. My guess, it may spike a little bit, but I think it's going to pull back a lot more. Why? Because there was no news. There was really no catalyst that drove the price of the stock up. So my guess is that if this stock opens up and it goes red, meaning it goes from green to red, so it breaks below the previous day's close price of 745, I'm going to short it. We'll see. I'm telling you now what I'm doing Monday. Now, just to pivot for a second, I'm a fucking idiot. So I've been watching AKS forever. I traded it a billion times. And what I've noticed is that AKS, for whatever reason, never seems to break below this 529, 530 level. And it broke it pre-market. And I said, and that's why I knew, and if we look at the stock, look what happened. Fucking stock market opens. For a second, it broke above the previous day's close price. But look, all day it just fucking tanked. This is the play that I should have made. And I don't know, I got distracted. That's it. But this was a stupid, because this would have got me almost 30 cents, of short, and I would have took a 4,000 or 5,000 share position on this. So this would have got me at a minimum, and I'm just so bad with math. So let's say I would have won in 5,000 shares, which was probable that I probably would have done, times 30 cents, it would have made what, $1,500. All right, so it was a good $1,000, $1,500 play. Even 1,000 shares even 1,000 shares, guys, would have got me $300. So and that's great. So I'm pissed off about that. I'm gonna put, even though it's not here, I'm gonna put on the watch list, because you see how it got to 505 and it got up. It got to 501 because $5 is a psychological resistance barrier, and I don't know if it's gonna break below 5. I think that it slowly starts grinding its way back up Monday. But I'll be watching this. I'll be looking to see if it pulls back and short, and if it can hold 501 and then it starts gapping up. I'll probably take a long on it, risking $5. So that's gonna be on my watch list because of that. So that's what I'm looking at for Monday, AKS, in terms of that. So you guys know. All right, so let's keep moving on. I'm not gonna make this too long. I'll do a couple of more, and then I'll stop it and then give you my watch list. JMEI, this is a stock that ripped. When stocks have these big moves, and you see it had the volume there, 3 million shares, I like to put them on my watch list because I'm looking to see them get overextended so I can short them. I can find I can wait for they have their move, find their high of day, have the wash, and short into the lower high, risking high of day. That's what I like to do. That's my thing. If I was looking at this, like, I wouldn't have not known what my entry was. Like, this is that flat top maybe right here where it forms that little bull flag. Right here, I might have gotten in right here because you see it gaps up, forms sideways, pulls up. That's that bull flag right here where it forms the flag and you get the little push. That's what traders see. But and then you get another push, you get another bull flag. You get a whole bunch of bull flags along the way. So when I make trades like this where it's choppy, this is the trick. The trick is you make a trend line. So what you do is where you get in, you make a trend line going in the angle of where the stock is going, and as long as the stock does not break the trend, you just stay in. And that is a good way to stay in the stock. What I like to do is also, let's say I would have gotten here. You see right here, this is the support level. So right here, I would have put the trend line here to say, hey, this is my risk, and I'm just riding this up. What I like to do is I would do like a sell, and then I can't do it because it's gonna put my count number, and put like a stop loss here, and then as the stock goes up, Thinkorswim is really cool where you can literally like drag your limit up, so that way you're securing your profit along the way because you're not sure when the stock is gonna pull back. Normally, because of you see a lot of selling volume, coming in. But sometimes you're not too sure. So that's a trick that I do. All right, that's a good way, a good strategy to stay in because you don't know what this is so choppy. You don't know what it's gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna put it on the watch list. I don't know if, I already put it on the watch list. I don't know if there's gonna be shares to short, but we'll see. All right, let's keep moving on. AEZS. AEZS is unfortunately it's one of these hard to borrow stocks, so I can't even short this. But if I was you, I would be looking at this for a potential short. It keeps having these spikes. If you notice, if you look at the chart, you can watch these candles. Like usually at the open, a lot of times the stock just seems to spike. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list, but if you could find shares to short, you may want to put on yours for a potential pullback. Next up is NSPRF. I don't know what this is. Probably one of those Bitcoin stocks. Let's see. Is this a Bitcoin? I don't even know what the hell this is, but I'm not looking at it. Let's keep going. MGTI. Now this is dog shit pump. Tops. So Tops, again, this is a sympathy play of dries. This moved with dries. So you see, look, it found its support. I'll put it on the watch list too, just because, if dries runs, look for Tops to run. I don't think it will. I think it's over, but who the fuck knows, right? Kala is another stock that moves with a lot of range. Unfortunately, I don't think Thinkorswim has shares to short. I would put this on the watch list just because it's overextended and you may get an opportunity to short this. So a good opportunity is, right, what I like to do is I like to watch the spike. You see how it comes up when it starts pulling back. Okay, when you get a clear pullback after a clear rip, this is the high, this is the lower high right here, and this is where I would short the stock, risking this. That's my strategy. Back to VWAP. That's it. And I look for those stocks and I just trade these patterns again and again and again. Sometimes you get monster washes, sometimes you don't. Okay, the goal is to be profitable. That's the goal. All right. So with that said, let me keep doing. DCTX is another one. This is another shipper. This moved because dries moved. It's dog shit. I don't think it's gonna do anything Monday, but you don't know. So just doesn't hurt to put it on your watch list. Doesn't mean you're gonna trade it. It's just there to watch it. All right. So that's why I would put it there. TGTX is another stock that moved from 10 to 11.45. It's a biotech company, had a lot of range. Unfortunately, no shorts available. I think for me, but if you can short this, look for it. It's holding its highs. All right. So, and there's a lot of stocks. This is too long for me to look at. But what I'll do is I'll keep building my watch list. All right. It gave you some insight to some of the stocks that I trade. You know, and I'll be looking. My bias will be to look for stocks that are ETB, easy to borrow, like KLDX. This is a stock that I absolutely will be looking to short on Monday because it's cheaply priced. It went from 290. It was at 294 previously to almost 330. So it almost had a 30-cent move. So, you know, I'll be looking to see. Hopefully it spikes up a little more on Monday and then pulls back hard. So I'll be looking to see something like that happen. All right. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. All right. And, you know, I'm just going to keep looking through the stocks and looking for charts, and I'll put them on. All right, folks. So hope you found this helpful. Again, follow me, watch those videos, and have a great weekend. You know, hit me up with questions on Twitter and YouTube and all that, right?